mind when you hear the word Holi?
Colors.
Holy cow. Holy cow. Bhang. Okay. Colors. Holy cow. Bhang. Holiday. For sure. Yeah. It has to be. But not in Karnataka. Why? I was working today. What else? Sweets. My God. So essential, no? That's where we get our energy. Right? Otherwise, I was talking like, okay, but you can't. I don't want to talk like that. So I had my share of sweets today. Thank you so much for your responses. Does it remind you of mud and keychair, or you all have played very sophisticated Holi always? Does it? Sometimes? Thank you. Okay, now to keep the celebration spirit on, can I request everyone to put your phones off or put them on silent? I will do also. Now, a festival is supposed to connect people. So, to avoid any disconnection, can I request you all to do not speak on sex, religion, and politics when you come on stage? And one more thing, that I would want you to be glued to your seats through the meeting. So, but if you have to get up, and if you have to enter or exit the room, then please do so when you hear the sound of an applause. Are we all set?
Yes.
Are we all set?
Yes.
Thank you. Now the person I am going to introduce you to, but before that I want to ask a question. Is there anyone who hides in his room on Holi? Or you all love playing Holi? All of you? I mean, I love playing Holi. Can I see?
I can't see.
Yeah? Okay. Now the person I'm going to introduce you to, he used to hide in his hostel room when he was studying his engineering. Because the students would not play Holi with colors, but with mud. Because that is what they could get in plenty. But after he joined corporate and worked for 2 decades, he traveled extensively in India and in Dubai, and he embraced all cultures and their festivals. Holi is now his one of favorite festivals. And not just, after the corporate career, he shifted his career and he self-taught himself to be a communication trainer. And now he's a successful self-taught communication trainer. And he's also an excellent self-taught dancer. If you have seen, any one of you has seen his recent WhatsApp status, where he had made like Thumka, right, going on Balam Pichkari. My God, that was a delight to see. Now, ladies and gentlemen, can we all put, we would definitely make him perform at the end. But for now, can we put our hands together in welcoming the colorful and vibrant President of Bangalore Toastmasters Club, Sheeb, Kumar.
Before I begin the meeting, I want to ask forgiveness to the Almighty for 2 reasons. One is for my introducer, spitting so much lies. And second thing, for me, for enjoying those lies for a moment. But thank you so much. Give a round of applause for Toastmaster Amrith. I declare the meeting number 1469 open. And before we begin, I request our Secretary, Toastmaster Mahesh, to give some highlights of the previous meeting 1468.
Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests.
Good evening.
Meeting number 1468 was held on March 7. The theme of the meeting was Empower Women, Empower Women. The word of the day was bolster. The best speaker award was won by Toastmaster Shubharani. The best evaluator was Toastmaster Shreya Sadhu. The best role taker was Priyanka Ronare. The best table topic speaker was Toastmaster Ganesh Pai. The best auxiliary role taker was Dr. Vishal. For more details, please tune in to Bangalore Toastmasters YouTube channel.
Thank you, Mahesh. Members, is there any amendments in the minutes of the meeting? Thank you so much. I declare the minutes of the meeting 1468 passed. Welcome to Bangalore Toastmasters Club. I request guests who came here for the first time, please stand up. Guests who came here for the first time, thank you so much for joining with us. I hope the next floor is going to be enjoyable for you. And members, how do we welcome the guests? A friend of mine asked, Sheeb, are you a Toastmaster? I said, yes. Are you still afraid of public speaking? I said, I'm not afraid of public speaking, but I'm afraid of public listening. The only thing stands between me and my audience is my public speaking. So once again, welcome and happy Holi to each one of you here.
Happy Holi.
Thank you so much. Our life is like a garden, and our thoughts are like seeds. We can grow flowers or we can grow weeds. If you look at the word cry, it's a 3-letter word. So is joy. The word fame is 4 letters. So is the word rise. The word curse is 5 letters. So is bless. The word reject is 6 letters. So is accept. The word enemies is 7 letters. And so is friends. The word immature is 8 letters. So is maturity. The word ignorance is 9 letters. And the word knowledge is 9 letters. And the word negativity is 10 letters. And the word positivity is 10 letters. So every moment, each one of us has given 2 choices, right? The choice to color our life, because there's so many colors available. And the masterpiece you make depends on how you use those colors, right? But even though we have so many colors at disposal, but is every day of our life is a masterpiece? No, right? Shakespeare has written 154 songs and 37 plays. Not everyone was popular, right? A handful of them. Michelangelo, the greatest artist of all time, has drawn more than 600 pictures, has written 300 poems, and maybe 16 to 20 architectural works. But not everyone was iconic. Maybe some of them. Sachin Tendulkar played 459 test innings. Out of those 459, he didn't score. He could not pass the 50 runs mark 310 times. And out of those times, did we consider all those 3 people as failures? No. We consider more than what they missed, what they hit. So every time, life is all about persistence, right? It's about embracing those. When you talk about colors, it's the same thing. We can't make the best out of everything what we have, but we should, each day, we should strive to make the best out of that. Sometimes we fail, we rise. Sometimes we cry, next day it's a joy. Sometimes, it could be anything which is happening for us. So, on this day of Holi, from Bangalore Toastmasters, each one of us, we wish you a prosperous days ahead. And to take this meeting forward, we have a person, a young, talented person. When he was young, he was pampered and pampered. And now he is hyper and wiser. Yes. He is a PR expert, public relations expert, so be mindful when you go and talk to him, especially on a Sunday evening. He will give you a speed talk with his gift of gab and make you looking forward for this Monday morning meetings. He's got that power. And he is again a marathoner. When I asked him, he said, I love marathon because more than marathon, I love the pizza which I eat after the marathon. And he is a die-hard fan of old play. He even traveled to Mumbai to listen to the concert. And one of these days, I think when he was sleeping, he was using that F word with you. And his parents came out and said that he was just in his sleep saying, fix you, fix you. That is a most, that's the most popular song of Coldplay. And actually, his name suggests he's a conqueror. And today he is going to conquer this stage with his gift of gab as well as the Sultan of the stage, right? With a thunder of applause, please help me, the Toastmaster of temperament, Toastmaster Ujyant Ramesh.
Thank you so much for that amazing introduction. In fact, that's the best part of each meeting, right? You look at these introductions, especially the president, like the first three introductions, they're usually very long, and then there are so many adjectives, you never know what's going to come. And I'm not sure when actually brought up this whole concept of pizzas, but okay. Anyway, as the Toastmasters of the day today, my role is to keep this meeting as vibrant as it can possibly get. That's what the word of the day is as well. And to talk about how I've already done that in the first place, even before I talk, you can look at my coat or what is also known as a bandi, which in itself is very colorful. And these are some nitty-gritties that I think every single person, especially the Toastmaster of the day, needs to follow. Because it is said that the Toastmaster of the day, or how the Toastmaster of the day conducts the meeting, is also decides the entire tone of the meeting for that particular day. And how did I learn all of these nitty-gritties? I would like to actually highlight some gems of the club that have taught me these things, or from whom I have imbibed these philosophies or these traits. Very first person is this right here who is smiling at me, which is TTM Vijayan, because the very first meeting that I attended in Toastmasters, he was the Toastmaster of the day. And boy, oh my god, and so many other adjectives or like so many other phrases to describe the way he conducted the meeting. There was humor throughout his meeting, and everyone was hooked. I realized, okay, this is like a charm that he has, and that you need to really use some element like that. It could be either the way you talk or the way you present yourself. Then, of course, this person right here, which is Toastmaster Amrith, always very calm and composed. I have never seen him stressed at all. Be it being called as the table topics master or anything at all, or simply to talk about table topics, he's never stressed. And lastly, the person who described me with, I think, a million adjectives, the president of a club, Toastmaster Sheeb, Kumar, is always smiling, right? No matter what. Some people might think you're just overdoing it when you smile, but I don't think that's the case, because you're just hooking the audience with a smile, right? Even if you don't really say things which are not great, nothing against you, everything that he said was really great. Even if you don't do something like that, that smile just hooks you on, right? People notice that stuff. So why I'm actually bringing about all these things is that this club, BTMC for that matter, has people from so many different demographics, so many different age groups, so many other categories, right? We are so diverse in nature. And similarly, it's Toastmasters as an institution as well, and the country for that matter, so diverse, and that's what the theme talks about, right? People make the world a canvas of colors. That's the power of diversity. And speaking of color, like the president already said, codeplay again. Let me go back to that point. I just can't stop talking about that concept that I attended. Except in this case, as the TMOD, I don't want to talk about the concept that I attended. Right? That's a discussion for later. Maybe we can have that after the meeting. But for today, what I want to talk to you is how they use color in every single thing that they do. It's not just about their concerts, but color metaphorically as well. They bring color to a world that is sometimes dark, right? And every single concert of theirs, you might have probably seen, right from their albums, from their lyrics, from their artists, their decorations of the drum kits, and every single instrument over there is always full of colors. In fact, he spoke about Fix You. I will talk about 3 other songs which I would want to talk about today. One is Yellow, which in itself is a color, but it's again metaphorically a lot deeper than that. It talks about how to overcome things like sadness, and yellow is a warm color, the significance of that color. And then there's another song called A Sky Full of Stars, which literally is about the property of stars, which is inherently to bring light in darkness, in times of darkness, in the universe, outer space. And of course, today being Holi, how can I miss Him for the Weekend? I'm pretty sure people know about this song, which was shot in Mumbai at the time of Holi, as colorful as it can possibly get. And for those of you who do not probably get these references, I'm pretty sure you might have watched the concert which was played on Hotstar, the Ahmedabad version of that. You might have probably seen that, and you might have seen one single person that I want to talk about today, which is the lead singer Chris Martin himself, right? I want to talk about the whole concept of impact. He is jumping throughout the stage, like throughout the venue, he's all over the place. And for those 2 hours, no matter what you are going through as a person, for those 2 hours, you forever change. For those 2 hours, you have changed so much that it impacts you forever. For days, weeks, months, and look at me right now. It's been 3 months since I attended the concert. I can't stop talking about it at all. So that is the power, that's the impact that one single person or a band in itself can have. Now, speaking about the impact of a person, I would also like to talk about one such person who has had an impact in terms of communications and public speaking, which is the founder of the Toastmasters movement, Dr. Ralph C. Smedley himself. This was a person who started the Toastmasters movement in 1924, and for the benefit of everybody sitting here, that is over 100 years, 101 years to be precise. Last year we celebrated the centenary year of Toastmasters. And how did he exactly do this, or where did he do this? The very first Toastmasters meeting was held in this place called Santa Ana, California, where he held a meeting for his peers at YMCA. And I was talking about impact all this while. What he did was help all of these people with their communication skills. That is how he impacted a whole bunch of people at his YMCA chapter. And today, look at the crowd here, and look at Toastmasters as a whole, how big the entire movement is. In fact, if I could give you some numbers on this, we have over 280,000 members globally, over 14,000 clubs, and over 150 clubs. That's the impact that he has had as a person. Now, having set the stage, having set the tone about Toastmasters and Coldplay and all of that, I think especially the guests, you might be wondering what exactly happens in a particular meeting, in a typical Toastmasters meeting. So in a meeting, there are typically 3 sessions. One is the prepared speeches section, which, as the name suggests, is about typically around 3 people, 3 speakers, who speak about different topics as part of different pathways that they have chosen. The second thing is the table topic session. Table topics, in layman terms, is impromptu session or the impromptu speeches, where the table topics master or the impromptu master for that particular day gives a set of topics wherein the guests, the audience rather, must speak for about a couple minutes. And finally, we have the general evaluation session, which is why everyone's here, right? To include their public speaking, networking, all of that stuff. All of that falls under the general evaluation session, wherein the meeting, right from the bell that rang at exactly 6:30 today, right from there to again what I'm wearing, what everybody's wearing, the dress code, the punctuality, discipline, and everything on those lines is evaluated. Today, without introducing the general evaluator right away, I would also like to introduce, the general evaluator actually, he is also helped by a certain team, which is known as the TAG team, which stands for the timer, the hour counter, and the grammarian. Today, as the timer, we have we have a software engineer who is completely into web development. And when I asked her who she is the most grateful to, she says it's her parents and how they have nurtured her to be the person that she is, the hard worker that she is. Toastmaster Chaitra, can you please read out your role as the grammarian? Sorry, as the timer.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ujyant. Good evening, friends. As a timer for today, I am going to be marking the time that each one of you take when you come on stage and reporting back to you at the end of the meeting. for your speeches and your every role on stage. When you meet the minimum time that you're supposed to take, I will hold up the green card. When you are on time, you will see the yellow card. And when you have reached the maximum time, I will hold up the red card. And you will have a grace period which you can use. For the speeches, it is 5 to 7 minutes. Table topics, it is 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. And for the evaluations, it is 2 to 3 minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chaitra. The next person is the Arka for today, and he is the founder of the Galata podcast. And as Toastmaster, especially as members, he has very well promoted the next episode, the upcoming episode, which is with the global president of Toastmasters, which is Dr. Ravi here. And when I asked him who he is the most grateful for or who helped him in his upbringing, he said it's an entire village that helped him. He was that notorious in life, which is why his podcast is also being named Galata. Toastmaster Surya, can you please read out your role as the accountant?
As my role today, I will be noting your verbal notoriousness, all the R's, ums, ers, you knows, and a lot more that goes on in our speeches. I will pay particular attention to veteran Toastmasters to notice the subtle ones, and I'm also trying to see if I can figure out a way to measure your speech rate, because some of us need to intentionally pause. All of that, I'll come back to you at the end of the meeting. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kumar. And next, as the grammarian, my personal favorite role again, we have a real estate tycoon. Have you guys heard of the Embassy Group? Yeah, he's the owner of that. I'm just joking, he's not, but he's a real estate One day. He aspires to be such a big real estate tycoon. As the grammarian today, we have Toastmaster Kenneth. Can you please read out your role?
Words are free. It's how you use them that they cost you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As a grammarian for the day, I will highlight the exceptional usage of the English language and gently nudge you in the right direction regarding the not so good language. I'm also delighted to introduce the word of the day, which is vibrant. An adjective used to describe something or someone energetic, exciting, and full of enthusiasm. I believe this word perfectly encapsulates how I would describe the Bangalore Toastmasters Club, where everyone here is truly vibrant. I encourage all of you to use vibrant, the word of the day, when you come up here on stage. I will provide my grammarian report along with the number of times the word of the day was used at the end of the meeting when called upon by the general director. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kenneth. With that, we are set to start off the very first session, which is the prepared speeches section. So today, to introduce the very first evaluator, he is the founder of Finocide Technologies. And when I asked him who he is the most grateful for, he said it's his father, because his father taught him the value and the power of hard work. Toastmaster Ganesh Pai, can you please read out the guidelines of the first speech?
Hello Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening.
Good evening.
The speaker is attempting project 3 from level 1 from Persuasive Influence Path. Project title is Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance the speech. I must please note, speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. All the rest of the speaker, back to the post.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ganesh Pai. The first speaker today is a principal growth head at Google, and his job involves helping startups grow. And when I asked him who he is the most grateful to, he said it's a certain Mr. Venkatesh, his tuition teacher. And I think people from Bangalore might know him as Venky. He's in Wilson Garden right here. So he's a very strict teacher, but makes people who they are. He's at Google, speaks volumes. Toastmaster Anirudh with the speech title Frozen Wheels Happy Memories. Please welcome him on stage.
Finland. Imagine all of yourselves in the beautiful Nordic country of Finland. It's a cold night, 12 p.m. to be precise, and it's so cold that everyone's freezing, almost -7 degrees outside. A bunch of us, including myself, are going on an icy path in the middle of the forest. The only thing we're able to see is what the headlights of the van is showing us, which is an icy path in front of us, icy trees all around us, and snow. The one weird thing though, is though all of us are sitting in this van, freezing, every single occupant of that van are constantly looking up, searching, as though an alien is going to come, or God is going to appear. Everyone's constantly looking up like this. It felt almost like all of us were birds in a cage, and we were looking to break free. As time passed, and as the miles munched on, silence. Just pure, absolute silence. To break this silence, there was a radio receiver that was placed on the dashboard of the van that we were in. And the radio receiver went like this. Good evening, I'm receiving. Good evening, I'm receiving, said the British driver next to me. And on the other end, his British compatriot said, good evening to you too, mate. We're having a real fun activity tonight. You better hurry up here. I'm sending you the coordinates of the activity on your WhatsApp. I'll see you soon, bruv. And he hangs up. Immediately, every single person in the van is delighted, smiling, elated. There's a couple kissing at the back. Everyone's super happy. And then immediately, my driver gets excited and starts really moving. He starts accelerating the van. And as the van chugs along faster, along the icy slopes in Finland, boom! Boom! Thud! The back wheels of our vehicle were stuck. Nice. Initially, all of us were just startled, looking at each other. What just happened? Are we here? Have we reached our destination? We don't know. And then we realized, after getting out, putting our caps, putting back our gloves, in the icy cold, we were truly stuck. And then at that point of time, our driver, Sir Lewis Hamilton, thought it would be smart to actually go ahead and think of an even smarter way to get out of the ice. So what he does is he comes back to the vehicle, moves it from neutral to drive, and accelerates again. What do you think happened? Absolutely nothing. The vehicle went even deeper inside. And then we said, okay, let's think about how to get out of this. So what we all did is we thought, I can't believe we did this. We removed the mats of the vehicle, put it on the tires, thinking that this would create traction, because rubber over rubber creates friction and grip. So that's what we did. We took the mats, put them under the tires, and then again, our Sir Lewis Hamilton, this time did a little bit more slowly. What do you think happened? Absolutely nothing. The mats got put and got thrown out. So we still stuck. Now, at this point of time, all the tourists in the vehicle are very anxious. A few of them are saying, oh my God, I've come all the way from my home country. What if I miss it? The couple who was kissing is now crying. What do we do? That's when we realized, okay, let's approach this in a different manner. What if we actually figure out where the mess is? We figured it was the back tire. So we got a shovel from the back, cleared out as much ice as we could. Remember, this entire place is ice. There's not much ice you can actually clear. So we cleared as much as we could, and all of us stood around the vehicle. We came together as one team, as one unit, and in unison, different people took up different positions all over the van. I, for example, took up the A pillar, which is right at the driver's side. Someone else took up the B pillar. Someone else went right at the back. And together, in unison, in one voice, and in one mood, and together, we said 1, 2, 3, heave ho! And we pushed the vehicle out. We were free. The vehicle actually did come out. Now, joyous, elated, We all sat back inside, and now we were on our way to our destination. Half an hour later, it became very clear why each and every one of the occupants in the van were constantly looking up. Because right on top of all of us was one of the most beautiful natural phenomena that you can see as a human being, the Aurora Borealis, showing in full swing. Vibrant colors of purple, green, red, blue, forming pillars, circles. It was like God was performing a ballet for us. As we stood there, awestruck by how beautiful nature can be, another thought came to our mind. You see, once I went back home, and obviously I hold this experience very close to my heart. Once I went back home, I realized that what I truly enjoyed was not just the Northern Lights. What I truly enjoyed about that night is that we went through a challenge and we overcame that challenge. We didn't overcome that challenge alone. We overcame that challenge as a group, as a team. We don't know each other, we're all tourists. But nonetheless, we came together and we overcame and achieved something not any one of us individually could have ever accomplished. Remember, dear guests and Toastmasters, no matter what moment you are facing in life, no matter how cold or how dark it is, there can always be a way where you find the light. When I came here and sat today and I saw the theme of the day, I couldn't find a more apt theme. Remember, guests and Toastmasters, it's not just experiences or the Aurora Borealis that is colorful. It is people who make the world a canvas of color. Happy Holi to all of you. Thank you.
Adventures, I mean, that's the one type of speech that gives me hope. Because I personally as well believe in this philosophy of a trip or an adventure not being an adventure if everything goes your way. There's the challenge in it, right? And he faced exactly that and he overcame that. That's the beauty of an adventure, that's the beauty of the speech. On to the next evaluator. This person is a former banking professional, and when I asked him who he's most grateful to, he again said it's his father for teaching him the concept of respect. And to this date, he lives by the philosophy of live and let live. Toastmaster Richard, can you please read the guideline for the second speech?
Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, distinguished guests, the purpose of this project is from presentation mastery, level 2, is for the member to learn about different communication styles and identify their primary style. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share the impact of their style on others. A time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to the speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richard. As for the third speaker, this person is a senior manager at Cisco. And once again, when asked who he is the most grateful to, he said it's his parents for teaching him morals and values that to this date have shaped him to become who he is. With the speech titled Misfits, please welcome on stage Toastmaster Hitesh.
evening, Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
As you all know, human beings are social animals, and for human beings, the heart of human interaction is communication. So today I'll be discussing about the different communication styles. So as per Toastmasters, we have like 4 communication styles. One is the direct form of communication, which is more focused, succinct, and result-oriented. So the second form of communication, what you have is the analytical communication style, where you're calculative, you want to be disciplined, and you're precise. The third form of communication style is initiating communication style, which is social and persuasive. The fourth form of communication style is the supportive communication style, where you're patient, you're cooperative, and you're calm. So I have 4 scenarios, and I'll be discussing 4 scenarios here, and then we'll discuss like what communication style would fit best. So this is the first scenario. So here is a software engineer who's sitting in his office trying to debug an issue, and the issue is that the entire city is experiencing a power outage. It is impacting critical areas such as hospitals and banks. The issue has been traced to a software bug, and now there's a software engineer sitting there in the middle of the night and trying to debug the issue. So what is the form of communication which most of us as leaders would like to use here? So I have illustrated here a misfit communication. So misfit communication style for a manager could be, you go to the engineer and tell him that, you know, what is the cost to the economy due to this outage? Now he's trying to be analytical here. He's trying to use an analytical communication style, which is not apt, it is perfectly misfit. Or when you're sitting there in the middle of the night, you just go to the person, distract him and say, how are things at home? Okay, so that is a misfit style of communication. So can you guys guess what would be the right style of communication in this scenario? Direct, yeah. You have to be more result oriented. You have to go there, discuss with him what's happening, how you can help him, and you have to be succinct so that the person can concentrate and focus on the issue. So this is the scenario number 1. Scenario number 2 is one of your colleagues is having a challenging phase in life. They are managing multiple responsibilities at the same time. And here the misfit communication is, you go to the person and say, everyone has problems, you have to fight it out. Okay. Or you go and give him statistics saying that there are 7 billion people on this planet and 699.999 billion people are going through challenging phase. This is the misfit communication of style. What would be the other communication style which would suit the person in this scenario? Is to be more supportive, right? You should go listen to the person, what are his challenges, and be more empathetic towards the person. So that's the style of communication which fits in the second scenario. The third one is, here is a bachelor who's trying to attend a family wedding. He's surrounded by unfamiliar guests. Okay, and you know what he does? He goes there and he just brags about the amount of spending what they're doing on the wedding. He's trying to be analytical there. But rather he should go and be more initiative. Or he's trying to go to the person and directly say him that you're not dressed up to the occasion. He's being more direct there, which is a misfit communication style. But in this scenario, he should have been more initiating, going, talking to the people. So that's the third scenario. Fourth scenario is, you're responsible for managing a corporate event, and the guests have come up with some additional requests that exceeds your allocated budget. Now in this scenario, a misfit communication is you just directly go to the person and then you directly tell him that you're short of budget and you cannot take care of this, or you try to be more initiating, trying to know the name of the person or trying to know where they are coming from. What would have been the best style here? Yeah, that's right. So, see, the thing is, all of us have our shares of misfit communication styles. As it comes to my communication style, I've had my share of misfits as well. But most predominantly, I have tried being direct and analytical. But over the years, what I've learned is communication styles are more contextual. So based on context, we'll have to shift on each style of communication and each fits in a particular context. So what do you think about this? Any suggestions on the style of communication which suits best in any scenario? Absolutely not, right? You have to be taking a path based on what is right in that particular scenario, taking into consideration what the other person is feeling, being empathetic towards him, and trying to understand the environment in which we are dealing, and then take care of the communication. So thank you. Over to the Toastmaster.
Amazing speech again, and before that, communication. I think that's a very important thing, especially in Indian workforces today, right? You see a lot of issues in terms of working so many hours, extra hours, 70 hours, and all of that. While that, in terms of time, is an issue, I think communication is also something that probably Indian corporate workforces need to really get right. And as idealistic as the speech was, I wish corporate workforces in India were also that good. Maybe that is going to come pretty soon. Anyway, moving on to the third evaluator. This person is always on top of the world. If you don't understand what I'm trying to say, just try giving him a handshake and asking him how he's doing. You will probably get the answer, maybe in a better way. Unfortunately though, I will not be asking you to introduce your guidelines because it's the same as the previous speaker. So moving on to the third speaker for today. This person is an avid Manchester United fan, just like myself. Not in the best of shape at this point, the club isn't. But it's still a very great club, a heritage club of sorts, a very history-rich club. And when I asked him who he is the most grateful to, he said it's his cousin for teaching him or like showing him what Manchester United or football is, and also introducing him to gaming. Again, two things that I also do, which is pretty much all over. With the speech title, Heart Screams, Brain Schemes. Quite an intricate, quite a detailed title. Heart Screams, Brain Schemes. Please welcome Toastmaster Akash.
Imagine this, it's IPL time. It's RCB versus CSK. The biggest match in IPL, and the match every Bangalorean looks forward to, not only for watching, but for winning. The stadium is electric. The vibrant audience is always making that noise. The fans are glued to their seats in anticipation for the result of this match. RCB needs 50 runs in just 3 overs to win the match. Virat Kohli is on strike. And their only hope, because AB de Villiers is out. Your fans are biting your nails in sheer anticipation of what's going to happen in this final 3 overs. Your heart, overcome with emotion, is making you stand up and shout, "Come on boys, come on, you can do it, we're going to win this game today." But then, you hear another voice. A voice much more calm, analytical, and cold. It's your brain. Okay, let us look at the scenario here. 50 runs in just 18 balls, and give a 20% chance to win at the most. Forget all the emotions. Welcome to my world, dear Toastmasters. A world where I got a supportive, emotional heart and a calm, analytical brain obsessed with numbers. And that is just how I communicate. I have a supportive side to my communication from my heart and an analytical side of communication from my brain. A few months back, my sister was extremely keen on learning to play the keyboard. My parents, impressed with this new desire of hers, immediately bought her a brand new shiny Yamaha keyboard. Initially all was well. She would spend the entire day in her room playing the keyboard, learning one song, going on to the next. But as time passed, problems began to appear. She would pick one song find that very difficult, abandon it, move on to the next song. And this cycle continued on, and ultimately she stopped playing the keyboard altogether, lost all her confidence, and spent all the day on her phone. I had noticed this as her elder brother for a couple of weeks now, and I decided to have a frank conversation with her. I had told her that she played the keyboard so well and the neighbors always heaped praise upon her songs. I told her how effortlessly her little fingers just glided across the keyboard. I told her how she was smiling and playing her favorite Disney song just last week. I told her that you're being too ambitious. Start small once again. Take an easy song, get that confidence back, and take baby steps. Slowly pick a more difficult song, and you will once again get that confidence back. Reluctantly, she took her elder brother's advice, went back to her room, began playing the keyboard, starting at the absolute basic, happy birthday. And as time passed, she began to pick another song, began choosing more difficult songs, and tried to increase the difficulty in order to improve her confidence. And that did wonders. Within 1 week, her confidence was at an all-time high, and she was playing the keyboard with a smile on her face and spending the entire day in her room once again. In fact, just last week, she won the Talents Day Award in her school for her talent with the keyboard. This incident taught me that I'm a supportive type of communicator who tries to be supportive and understands the emotions in others. But that is not the only way I communicate. As I mentioned, I have a much more calm, analytical brain here. That is the analytical side to my communication. I started my speech with an imaginary incident where RCB played CSK. What if I told you that was real actually? You see, last year, RCB played CSK in a do-or-die match where we had to qualify to go to the playoffs. I think you might remember that match. It happened in Chingaswamy State. So my friends and I were excited for this match for many weeks. The tickets were booked, the jerseys were on, and the atmosphere was through the roof. We were traveling from Hebbal, so we took a cab around 3 hours in advance, thinking that we had outsmarted Bangalore's traffic. It was smooth sailing initially. We went through Hebbal's bridge and the flyover and even Makery Circle without any problems. But as we approached Palace Grounds, that's when the problem began. As we got stuck in Bangalore's infamous bumper-to-bumper traffic with no signs of the traffic moving. My friends began to panic. They asked me, Akash, what if we miss the first over, or what if we miss the entire power play altogether? We were not helped by the fact that Google Maps' cold voice came in. 2 hours and 10 minutes to your destination. At this point, while my heart was panicking just like my friends, I kept my brain active and stayed calm. I began to look at alternate routes to reach the stadium on Google Maps, but found none. But that's when I had a eureka moment. A cyclist just breezed past us in the tiny gaps in the traffic as all the jealous drivers looked at him. And that's when I found the solution. I opened Google Maps and searched the nearest Yulu zone. Found one just 50 meters away. Asked my friends to quickly follow me, ran, took the Yulu bikes, reached the stadium in 20 minutes. While my friends praised me for my presence of mind, my focus was already on what's going to happen in the match. It felt like RCB had won the IPL, and we did win that match at the end of the day, if you remember. That, my dear Toastmasters, is how I communicate. Whether just trying to teach my sister the keyboard, or trying to watch an IPL match and calculate the run rate, or even come here for table topics. My heart, it screams, but my brain, it schemes. My heart is filled with passion and fuels my desire, but my brain, it charters the course. And it also helps me in defeating Sundar Pichai's Google Maps as well. Thank you.
Thinking on your feet is absolutely important. I think you just spoken about it, especially such high stakes games like the RCB game. But more than that, for some reason, my mind latched on to the whole music bit, right? I always wanted to play the guitar. Actually got a guitar, And the problem is, right, especially as beginners, the very first song you want to play is Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. It's not possible. Or like maybe Sweet Child O' Mine, all these guitar solos. You really want to play that, but go slow. Happy Birthday is the first step. Anyway, with that, we are done with the first session today. Now we have our 10-minute break. You will hear the bell after 10 minutes. 5-minute break, sorry. We have a 5-minute break. And then you will hear the bell after 5 minutes. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. Now we'll be starting the second session, which is the table topic session. Unfortunately, one of the most dead sessions, but it is it's the best place to learn, right? Imagine being thrown into the deep waters, you have to swim out on your own. That's literally the metaphor, but that is what table topics is all about. Today, as the table topics master, we have the VP membership of this very club. And again, ask the same question: who are you the most grateful to? He says it's his mom because she taught her the art of giving back to society. And this person has been very, he's played an instrumental role in getting the numbers that we have in the club on a weekly basis, as well as the number of members that we currently have, the concurrent number of people that we have. Introducing the table topics master for today, we have Toastmaster Mahaveer Jain. I'm going to make it very simple for you guys, so nobody will be getting this session. So table topics, if you can't speak on the topic, probably try and confuse us, or maybe if you can't convince us. So we'll have green card for 1 minute, yellow card for 1 minute 15 seconds, and red card for 1 minute 30 seconds. After that, you'll be given a grace period of only 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds. Okay? So I'll just get on to the main table topics. So the first topic is, as it's the festival of colors, tell me how you're going to add color to someone's life. I repeat the topic, how you're going to add color to someone's life. May I request Toastmaster Vishal?
They say that as you grow older, your vision gets a little duller. You all remember when we were kids, we saw the world in vibrant colors. But as we get older, slowly starts becoming a little bit paler. And I do not accept it. I will not let that be the case. And to make people's lives a little bit more colorful, a little bit more vibrant, I would bring a level of childlike curiosity, childlike wonder into everyone's life. How would I achieve this? Maybe by giving them an innocent compliment once in a while, making them feel a little bit better. Maybe just buying a friend a chocolate randomly. It's surprising how just a little thing can make their day that much more vibrant. So, next time you're wondering, how can I splash color into a person's life? Don't worry, you don't need to put your hand into your holy supplies. All you need to do is do something small, send a message to a friend, give them an innocent compliment, or buy them a small chocolate. That's it. Should be good enough. Over to you, table topic master.
Who doesn't like compliments? We all love compliments, right? Okay, so the next topic for today is, so you've lost all your money. You've lost all your money, what could you do? May I request Toastmaster Veeresh? Yes.
You lost all your money, what would you do? I won't do anything. Because there's nothing left in my pocket to do anything. Okay, I mean, I think the intent was to what would you do on that particular day or in life, right? So if you go bankrupt or if you are put in a jail in some kind of in certain situation, like how Vijayan went from India because he went there and now he's fighting and he's winning back. So how would you do? What would you do if you have lost everything? So again, you have to start from basics. You have to unlearn, relearn, and do everything from the scratch. Because what you have earned until that particular age, for example, if you have lost everything at the age of 35, you lost your wife, maybe for divorce, and you have lost your home due to earthquake, what would you do? You utilize all the 35 years of experience to rebuild quickly, because that is what will stay with you. Nobody can take it away from you. The knowledge that you have learned, and the experience that you have earned, these things can't be stolen from anybody. So this is what I am going to do. So if I have lost everything on a particular day, I mean, bringing back from the whole life to a day, if I lost everything and I'm stuck here, then I walk back to home. If I don't find the money to go on a Uber or thank you.
Well, you were right, nobody can take your wisdom away from you. Okay, so the third topic we have, if you were a fruit seller, how would you work? If you were a fruit seller, how would you work? May I request Toastmaster Alok Simha?
That is how I would start working. I mean, there is no other way. If I'm a fruit seller, I can't be othering and embarring and say, okay, this is your fruit and we are going to charge you about 30 rupees if you're buying 1 quintal, but if you make that 10 quintals, maybe I'm going to give it to you at 25. So that is how I negotiate back in office. But being a fruit seller, I remember this guy who said, Mahaveer, and this guy, he would come back to our locality every summer with mangoes. Every summer with mangoes, and that is something I clearly remember. And he would stand right outside, especially during those COVID times. He would stand right outside our home, and that would be that little walk from our home to that fruit seller to just buy that couple of kilos of mangoes, get back home, eat that as a family. And that is a very pleasant memory that I remember from the COVID times, which was otherwise pretty torrid, right? And the seasons change. He comes back with, say, papaya, or he comes back with, say, musambi, strawberry, the more exotic fruit. So that is how fruit sellers change, and that is variety. Those are the seasons. And maybe with that message of the fruit seller was that life is never going to be the same. You're going to have mangoes, you're going to have bananas, maybe avocados or strawberries, but the essence remains the same. Whatever the season, whatever the fruit, just keep enjoying your life, guys.
Yeah, we're enjoying the mangoes now, everybody, I think. The fourth topic for today is driving an air taxi in Bangalore. I repeat, driving an air taxi in Bangalore. May I request Toastmaster Surya Prakash?
Yeah, so hello everyone, very good evening, and what a vibrant meeting this is. I see people full of, looking bright and full of colors. Yeah, so driving air taxi in Bangalore. Okay, so air taxi, maybe Mahaveer gave the right topic. I can speak out on this topic if I remember. So air taxi is basically like we call it eVTOL, a bit of technical to it. It's electrical vertical takeoff and landing. So you not have a runway. It can go up as a helicopter and fly as a plane. So what
better city we can have to introduce air taxi, and like people's inherent curiosity is like we look at the bird, and we wonder like how the bird flies, how it defies the gravity and flies and cruises through the air, right? So air taxi is like that. It will give wings to the people to express and then go to the place they want and conquer the world. So yes, how I drive the air taxi? I drive like a Ferrari. Unstoppable. Thank you.
Well, to avoid the Bangalore traffic, we might soon actually have air taxis till the airport. So very excited for that. So the next topic is, if you have to drape a sari, how would you do it? I repeat, if you have to drape a sari, how would you do it? May I request Toastmaster Srinivas V.
It's an apt topic. It's an apt topic because my family tradition is into silk saree weaving. My father used to weave silk sarees, and I used to play with silk saree threads. And people nowadays change from sarees to salwar kameez or different kurtas and chudidars and etc. That's why I said it's an apt topic. Toastmasters, Mahaveer has given a challenge, how do you drape the sarees? Since we weave and we have to show to a client how to drape the sarees, what we have done is we bought a small tool in which the husband does not have to help her wife to drape the sarees. I think most of the husbands will like the tool, which is soon available in Amazon. You can also purchase it. So which makes the woman who does not know how to wear sarees to drape the sarees. So you not require any men's help to drape the sarees for women. So men can wear themselves. Mahaveer, I think you're supposed to buy that soon, since you're also from the silk industry. So you'll be requiring it. Over to you.
Totally agree with you and your product. Okay, so next we have you're a school bus driver. Where will you take your kids? You're a school bus driver. Where will you take your kids? May I request Toastmaster Guru Prasad?
The wrong topic. The reason is like, most of the time the car is in my hands. And I don't know where I take people around. Imagine if this school children with me in my bus. See, I am a fun-loving guy. So my habits are like this. Earlier when I was staying in JP Nagar, after my work at 4 o'clock or 4:30, I should take my car out, go to the Banigata forest, go around, come to the Kanakura road, have coffee and come back home. And every evening I used to again come back to JP Nagar, make to I'm a fun-loving guy. So kids are also fun-loving. And on top of that, I love dance, music. So I make kids to dance and hijack the bus. Take them out for different locations. The next day, all the parents will come to the school. But you can keep anybody else except this guru as a school driver. So please remove guru from the driver from this college or school. Thank you.
Well, when I was in school, I always wanted my school driver to take me for a vacation. Like, let's not go to school. Okay, so the next topic we have is if you are a Kung Fu master, it's a story you can complete. If you are a Kung Fu master, may I request Toastmaster Vivek Vijayan?
wrong topic for maybe the right person. Kung Fu Master, I have absolutely no idea, so I just convert it into Karate Master. So, yeah, if I am a Karate Master, I think I would suck big time as a Karate Master. It makes no sense for me to be a Karate Master where I cannot even lift my hands or legs or whatever that is. And I would convert that into some sort of a verbal karate, verbal Kung Fu Master, whatever that is. Kung Fu Master. Very good. Kung Fu Master to really give out some expletives to people and put them down whenever it is required, or when people speak, give you expletives, how do you defend it? Maybe in that sense I would do that, but other than that, physically I think I would suck big time. I have to look up and Google what is Kung Fu Master. Thanks.
Well, Kung Fu and Karate are very similar, I think. So the next topic is cook something nice in front of our eyes. I repeat, cook something nice in front of our eyes. May I request Toastmaster Aranya. Cook something nice in front of our eyes.
Hello everyone. Cook something nice in front of our eyes. Let me begin with how I learned cooking. My mother actually, she also did not know how to cook initially, but she later on had to learn because of me, because she had to pack my lunch and whatnot, of course my dinner and breakfast and everything. Later on I slowly ensured to learn cooking because I believe that's the basic necessity and basic need for everyone. So I started learning with eggs and then later on moved to rice. So cook something with rice would probably be a good biryani for me because I'm a big biryani lover. I think most of them would be a biryani lover here as well. So yes, I think I would probably make some good biryani with this. Thank you.
Okay, this is a creative one. So you've just delivered a baby. What's your reaction?
Very good.
I repeat, you've just delivered a baby. What's your reaction? May I request Toastmaster Rashi?
Out of all people here in the audience, I had to get the topic. Well, I am literally running every day from the topic of marriage or XYZ, and here I have a topic. What would be my first reaction if I delivered a baby? I think, I think I would be not a calm person given the fact, whatever profession I'm into. I still believe, it's something that, at least from what I've seen in the movies, it's not something that is fun. Irrespective of how cute or how lovely the baby is, it still troubled you the most. Still taken all your energy to literally be out there. I shall be nice when it's there. But the point being, I think it's just fun to be. I am literally very, very blank here. But yes, I think it's not something that you can imagine because it's beyond our imagination. But nevertheless, I hope I'm good to the baby and to myself.
Well, I feel for the father it's the best reaction, and for the mother, we don't know. But okay, so the next topic is the blue umbrella. I repeat, the blue umbrella. May I request Toastmaster Bhimani Pandey?
the hills, and I can quite relate to the topic of umbrella, because every day when you go to school, it would rain every day exactly when school would close, and we get drenched every day in the rain coming home. So we always had to carry our umbrella, gumboots, raincoat, and everything. But yeah, and there would be days when it would rain incessantly, heavy rains. So it would be, we would really enjoy, because then we would not have our classes. There would be power outages, so it would be fun to have rains. But yeah, after a point it would get really, really irritating, because we could not go out and play in the open, and there would be no sun. But yes, a good part to that is also after heavy rains and long incessant rains, we would see far in the hills a beautiful rainbow. And that would be really, really worth it. So yeah, that's how I would end my topic.
Well, a lot of love stories have started under an umbrella, you can say that. Okay, so the next topic is, tell us why boiling water is a difficult process. I repeat, tell us why boiling water is a difficult process. May I request Toastmaster Chiran?
I really don't get that context. I'm not a Baba like here. There are any learnings I would have got from the stories or something. So boiling water is a difficult process. I don't see anywhere. So even the people who say Maggie, cooking Maggie is like they have learned the cooking through Maggie, right? For them also it is an easy process. There is nothing like you place the water and boil it. But the thing is, see, water is a versatile thing. So when if someone is there, so you cannot just boil the water and give them, right? So you have to prepare food to them or anything. So even a coffee. So that is like that is when it kicks in, the occasion. So it's not about the boiling water, what you convert it into finally. So if you are going to give it like a boiling water to someone, Puneet, like will you accept it? You'll say, get lost, man. Why should I come here? So that is what. Anything else I don't get it.
Boiling water converts into something, coffee, tea, ginger tea. Okay, so the next topic is, how do you find parking in Chickpet? I repeat, how do you find parking in Chickpet? May I request Toastmaster Shri Shakti?
I don't think you should find parking in Chickpet. So Chickpet, as you all know, it's a very crowded place. And I remember when I came to Bangalore, everyone used to talk about Chickpet. And I used to ask, what is special about it? They say, this is a hub to buy all the textile products, right? Mostly you will find everything over there. So that point in time, you didn't have any option. You didn't have metro. You have to go by bus, and then you just need to walk. Or you go by two-wheeler, that's better. But now I think with metro in, the entire process is little simpler. You can just park wherever you find parking in the metro station and just get to the nearby station and walk in, right? So this is something, as a Bangalorean, right, I think you should, finding a parking in any location is going to be difficult. I think when I came to Toastmasters, right, first time, I was very happy that we have a very good parking space and we do not worry about parking here. So,
yeah, that's right. You have to be very creative when you're traveling to Chickpet. So the next topic is, you are going to leave the world. What would be your last message? I repeat, you're going to leave the world. What would be your last message? And may I request Toastmaster Shashank Bhai?
was just discussing with my cousin the other day. I had a long journey from Elanka to Uttarali, where I stay. 2 different sides. In fact, Sheeb also knows this struggle of me traveling. There was a time when I had to take 6 hours class, and without having lunch, I had to go ride all the way back home. I still remember this. I'm riding. I don't know when I close my eyes. I open my eyes and I see a lorry right here, going right next to me. Then I realized we take life too seriously sometimes. We never know. Maybe that moment last month would have been my last day of my life. However, that's when I started thinking, if something happened to me, have I left something for my wife? Have I left something for my parents? Have I left something for people who know me well? So that is when I realized, whatever I do, let people appreciate it. I will not say do this or this, but whatever you do, if people acknowledge and appreciate whatever you are doing, I think they will remember for who you are as a person, not for what you did. That is one thing I am recommending all of you. If someone looks at you, if someone sees you tomorrow, let them remember for who you are as a person. You can do whatever you want, but if you're authentic, I think that serves a purpose.
Agree with you, nothing beats authenticity. Okay, so the next topic we have is I'm the owner of MSC Group. I repeat, I'm the owner of MSC Group. May I request Toastmaster Kenneth? So, most no, he's actually scared. He's told me a couple of times I don't want to speak on people's office. That's how he is. Okay. May I request Toastmaster guest Revali Pashmuthi to please come on stage.
My favorite mango.
Yeah.
Okay, I love custard apple. So, contradicting the topic, it is not my favorite. Custard apples are my favorite, and it is always difficult to find a complete fruited custard apple, even if it is the winter season. So then I started reaching out to Naturals fruit ice creams. That is how I satiated my liking for the custard apples. And yeah, even in Bangalore I found a bigger sized custard apples. Mangoes, it has been 2 years I haven't had mangoes. So because of this topic, maybe this summer I will taste mangoes. That's all I have to say.
With this, we come to the end of the table topic session. I hope you guys enjoyed it a lot. Over to you, Shubharani. Very well curated set of topics, I feel. In fact, all the sessions that I've attended, this was probably the first time that I saw all speakers actually confident and ready to talk. I mean, except a few here and there. But overall, well curated. Right? Even the umbrella topic, honestly, I was blank. But then I realized because Himani is from the hills, that's why you created it. So good job on that. Now we move on to the third and the very last session for today, which is the general evaluation. And for me, general evaluation is not something like that's supposed to be sugar-coated, right? I really like it when feedback is, I wouldn't say harsh, but as honest as it can get. And to do that today, we have an engineer at Bosch. He is, again, as I mentioned, known for his composure, so you will probably witness that when he comes on stage for the general evaluation. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Abhay Kothari.
Thanks, Ujyant. You just told me, you set the tone for my general evaluation session by saying that you would want
start, so thank you so much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the general evaluation session of meeting number 1469. As I walked into this meeting room, I was thinking what I would start my general evaluation session with, perhaps a story of Akbar, Birbal, Tenali Ram. But when I walked in, I thought that the people at Bangalore Toastmasters really justified the theme, people make the world a canvas of colors, because the president was decorating the board, the VP Education was laying out the flowers, the Sergeant at Arms had already set up the place, and a lot of people, Toastmaster Vishal and others who had come in early were really helping out in making this meeting a really big success. So I think that really justifies the theme, and I hope you had a very good meeting. So let's see how we did on the meeting according to my view. So this is only my view of the meeting and only my suggestions that I would give. And beginning with the SAA, I think Amrith, you really did a really energetic and lively opening. You had a very good connect with the audience. You spelled out the rules of the meeting, it was all really well done. You really lived up to the role of the Sergeant at Arms. You also gave a nice insight into the life of the president and his career as well. The only thing that I would like to suggest to you, Amrith, is to take a look at time more closely. I think the meeting began at 6:32. My watch serves me correct. So maybe you could come at 6:28, gather the audience up, and begin on time, and also conclude on time. I think you gave an icebreaker today, 4 minutes. So just keep track of time. I think everything else is absolutely well done. So thank you so much. Give a round of applause for Amrith. Next, we had the man with the jovial air, our Toastmaster president, who came on stage and really motivated us with a lot of energy, his jovial style of speaking, his connect with the audience. I think Sheeb, you do that really well, and I think it's a natural part of you, because you're just like that off stage and you're just like that on stage. So I think that personality that you have, it really reflects and really helps you on stage. So job really well done. You give a lot of motivations, and your intros, of course, are to die for. I think the Toastmaster already commented on that. So that was really well done. You also called on the secretary to read out the minutes. You opened the meeting well, so that was really well done. So the only thing that I would like to suggest to you, Mr. President, is that I think you have a 20-year corporate career and then a career as a trainer. So your connect to the theme, I think we would like to hear something more personal from you, rather than examples of Shakespeare and others. So I think something personal from you is something that I look forward to all the time. So please request you to look into that a little bit more. Then we had our amazing Toastmaster of the day. He's doing it for the second time. And before we go on to the Toastmaster, please give our president a big round of applause. So our Toastmaster is playing this role for the second time, and he's done a really good job. He had a very nice energy to him. He brought out all the introductions. He sent out messages, I believe, to all the role takers, trying to understand, who is the person who motivates them the most, or who is the person who they look up to the most. He collected all the data, and I think he had his notes really well written and placed in place. And he was also always vibrant in dress as well as in tone and speech. So that was a good example. And I think also you use a very live example today. You refer to some of the veteran Toastmasters. That's not me. And you read out the speech title very well. So all that was really well done, Ujyant. And a couple of suggestions that I would like to give you is that when you speak about Toastmasters and give some data about Toastmasters, I would like you to be a little more accurate. So I think you said there were 150 clubs, and also you mentioned there were 14,000 clubs. So I think that's part of the confusion. Maybe 150 countries is what you wanted to mean. So just a little bit accurate on the data. And when you were speaking, you were mostly directed towards this side. I don't know if that was because the evaluators and I were all sitting there. You were really directed towards this side, and you ignored most of the audience for this part. So just take a little bit care over there. And that was all. You played a little mischief with Kenneth. That was all in good sense, and you entertained the audience. So all in all, as a Sutradhar, as a Toastmaster, I think you did it really well. So for that, please give Ujyant a big round of applause. Next, we had our speakers, and for the first speech by Toastmaster Anirudh, may I please invite the evaluator, Toastmaster Ganesh Pai.
Fellow Toastmasters and my target speaker, Toastmaster Anirudh in particular, a very good evening again. Good evening. The project required speaker to enhance his speech using vocal variety and use of body language. Now let us see how this speaker, Toastmaster Amrith, went about his business. First and foremost, he is a very clever cookie. Else how could we get into Google, right? Honestly. So he picked up a topic which lends itself to the use of vocal variety and use of body language in ample way. So on that, very well done. Now, having chosen a good topic, he went about unleashing a flurry of vocal highs and lows and the gestures. By and large, most of the gestures were extremely natural, fitting, and just appropriate. Whilst there was quite a bit of a drama, the highs and lows in the story, he didn't really exaggerate or overdo any of the moments. So when he described the freezing cold environment, or when the tire was stuck in the eyes, or the scenic beauty, the entire description and the body language was just appropriate. The other very clever strategy was the use of contrast and humor. When he described about the couple who were kissing behind, and then when things really went down south, they were crying. So very beautifully he combined the humor and the contrast very well done. Having said that, I thought there are few places maybe you can just to level up the speech to the next level. By and large, I thought you were pacing back and forth Toastmaster Anirudh, from neutral to first gear. I thought it was easy to get the vehicle out of the ice, but to get you moving on this spot. So just use the space a little more purposefully. I thought you could have used the dialogues a lot more creatively to add the character or bring the characters alive. Especially you could have used a British accent to say, "Hey mate, we are stuck in the woods," or whatever. I mean, just saying, you could have used the dialogue and just it was just thought. So all it was about Anirudh. You could have used more dialogue. At least one or two places I thought the video and audio was slightly off. When you said boom, boom, thump, I thought it was explosion. Then I realized it was the tires got stuck. Maybe I think you could be mindful of these things. All in all, a very clever choice of topic, amazing display of vocal variety and gestures, and creative use of contrast and humor. If you can just take care of being purposeful in terms of stage movement, using dialogues to bring in life to the characters, and take care of audio and video issues also in a few places, I think this speech will be a very well-rounded speech. I know you work with startups, but seeing you, I can say one day you will scale up and a potential IPO, I can very clearly see. All the best. Look for your next speech.
Thank you, Ganesh, for that clinical evaluation. I think you covered all the points and gave some appropriate feedback with suggestions for improvement, and very specific at that. So, and also Anirudh, lovely speech. So, big round of applause to the speaker and to the evaluator. Alright, next we have Toastmaster Richard, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Hitesh's speech. Unfortunately, Hitesh had to leave because of some reason, but please, Toastmaster Richard.
General evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and his guest, and Mr. Hitesh, though he's not there, he is my target speaker. But anyway, I request all of you to give a good round of applause to this beautiful speech, which was different from any other speech of the same project. Big round of applause to Hitesh. To drive any point to the listeners, the best way is through narratives, stories, and examples. And Hitesh, you had all these in PowerPoint presentation. Everyone was able to capture whatever you were required to tell, and for this, first kudos to you. Second one is, today we are celebrating Feast of Colors, and colors look vibrant when they are contrast. In your speech, you gave the contrast first, and you called them as misfits, and you made the audience to think, and you said that this should have been the way. It's a great way of narration. Third point, the good point is, humor was present in every narrative of yours. For example, telling a bachelor, not only you have a problem, everyone has a problem. This kind of examples really made the speech very impactful. And in fourth plus point, you told that one measurement fit for all doesn't suit. You have to apply your mind, and you must find solution knowing what is the problem. This is really a great input. Hitesh, very nice speech indeed. Once again, I applaud you. But only thing is, you took only 5.32 minutes to complete the speech, and I found the rapidity of speech was more. If you had introduced some of the pauses, I think the audience would have had a great understanding of your speech. Nevertheless, a big speech. Hitesh, a big round of applause to you, and we would like to hear such kind of speeches more and more from you. A big round of applause to Hitesh, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richard, for that evaluation, and I really pray to God that I have the same kind of motivation at your age to come and be a part of Toastmasters. So thank you so much. And my job as a general evaluator is to evaluate the evaluators and also add something if missed. And I thought that the PPT today, what Hitesh presented, he sort of read from it at times, and my suggestion to Hitesh would be to not read the PPT directly, but to use it as a reference, and perhaps to the committee as well, if some person is wanting to use the PPT, please assist them in bringing down the podium and dimming the lights. So that would be really helpful. Moving on to the third speech, and I think this is where a sort of a confusion started, because the third evaluator was not called on to read the guidelines, if I'm not wrong. And here, Toastmaster Ujyant, a little bit of caution. If you understand that both projects are the same, maybe you could just announce it to the audience to avoid confusion. Right? So thank you. And now we have the next evaluator for Toastmaster Akash's speech, the veteran Toastmaster, DTM Vijayan. Over to you.
Communicate to connect, not disconnect. Mr. Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. This project has three objectives. The first one, the speaker must learn about the 4 different communication styles. The second one, identify his or her primary style. And the third, what is the impact of his or her primary style on others. Let us see how Toastmaster Akash fared. The first one, Toastmaster Akash, about the preferred styles in plural. Supportive and analytical. Very nice, you told us about that. Second, the impact on others. Supportive, your sister excelled and made the keyboard. Wonderful. And analytical, my gosh, even Rajnikant will work out some sweat. 50 meters of your standard cab location, you found the Euroby station. And 20 minutes from there, you got to switch to the palace grounds. he's going to get in touch with you. Forget your friends. Rajnikant's going to get in touch. That's the impact, young man. Okay, now let us see how we could perhaps meet the other guidelines, Toastmaster Akash. He says primary style in singular. Toastmaster Akash, I want to learn from you. Supportive, analytical. Which one? If I have to quickly ask you. Which is your forte?
Supportive.
Supportive. Thank you for being so supportive. Now here, I've been doing this for almost 20 years in my part of my profession. I've seen people have the first one, okay, like Lokesh, supportive, maybe second, analytical. You could perhaps throw that. Friends, my first style is supportive, and my second best is analytical. So there, it's just sport me. Then for the audience sake, not too much, just a little bit, not mandatory, but the other two styles, friends, wondering, which the earlier preceding speaker spoke about Hitesh, are the direct and the initiative. Just for little knowledge, repetitive amount of learning. Just throw some light on that. Third bit, I thought, the opening of the speech, long drawn. Rubber band, stretch too much, it'll snap. That cricket example, I know you're an RCB fan, me too, born brought up in Bangalore. I think it was too much. More than communication styles, it was emotional styles. 18 balls, holy, this, that. So I think the context that it was long and perhaps not appropriate for that. Well organized speech, opening stop was good. The body of the speech had the styles and the impact. Conclusion, Toastmaster Akash. 33 seconds left. We made 66 words you could have used. If I want to place a conclusion. Now, friends, what I want to drive with this message is a style works, which you're good at, the other person has the same style, fantastic, but life's not hunky dory. Sometimes the other person has the other style, and that's when communication goes for a toss. So try to match and mirror the other person, some conclusion like that. Having said that, the project calls, it could be humorous, it could be informational, you are best of both worlds. It's informational and subtle humor. It's been said that your beauty is revealed in the way you communicate. Toastmaster Akash, this applies 100% to you. You're an absolute beauty when it comes to speaking. Looking forward to more speeches back to the team.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijayan, for that lovely evaluation. I really love the fact that you told the speaker that he did meet the guidelines and also provided specific and clear suggestions. So great job at evaluation and also a lovely entertaining speech with a nice message from Toastmaster Arka. Big round of applause. Next we had a short break and then we came into the table topic session. I think Mahaveer, where are you? Okay, yeah, super. So I think that Mahaveer, you had a nice, lively and great energy on stage. Your topics were good. And more appropriately, the way you selected speakers for each topic were really nice. They were able to come and give out whatever thoughts they had on that, and you also motivated the speakers after. But one thing, Mahaveer, I thought that you sort out all the problems of your life, and then you ask Toastmasters for solutions. You're going to dictate, draping a sari or helping to drape a sari. I think delivering a baby. So I think you sort out some problems. And also you put some ladies onto the spot like Toastmaster Himani, Toastmaster Rashi. I think you put them on the spot a little. But no worries, you did a job well done. It was a really entertaining session. And thank you so much for that. A big round of applause to Mahaveer and all. Okay, next we will call on our tag team. So may I please request our timer, Toastmaster Chaitra, to please come on stage.
Good evening, friends.
Good evening.
I'm very happy to say that almost everyone met the time limit. Our guest Revali, if I have your name right, made a valiant. Sorry, I'm Ravali. Okay. Made a valiant attempt at table topics, and she took 53 seconds, almost reached the limit. But next time, go for the green card. Everyone else met the time limit. As far as the speakers go, Toastmaster Anirudh took 7 minutes 4 seconds. Toastmaster Hitesh took 5 minutes 32 seconds, and Toastmaster Akash took 6 minutes 27 seconds. Back to the team.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chaitra, for that crisp
the time I visited Ahmedabad and I had gone to a radio jockey for some advice. And while I was talking to him, in front of him was a script before the show. And I could see he had used a red ink to mark places and add R's and R's. And I couldn't help but ask him, why are you adding R's and R's? Because at Toastmasters we can remove it. And he looked straight into my eyes and he said, I'm a flawless speaker, but very early on in my RJ career I realized the only way I can relate to a common man is by speaking like a common man. And today I felt there were 5 speakers that were so flawless that they went ahead of the relatability factor to the common man. All the prepared speakers, Anirudh, Hitesh, Akash, Shashank and Vijayan, I believe you are all flawless, and that's the flaw. You need to add an R and R. What purpose? To be relatable to the audience. You're like a stone that's too polished and has lost its edge. Having said that, well, having said that, I want to contrast it with the rest of us who need to still strive to remove our R's and R's. Overall, our club today used 112 R's. And if I have to contrast one miles ahead speaker would be the general evaluator. He alone contributed 40% of R's. Right now at 41. I think by the end of this he will be the most valuable R component. The UNOs used today were over 19 and CUs today were 19 as well, and so was 13. So overall, that's my report. With respect to your pace, speaking pace, I wasn't able to figure out the app yet. So I'm going to come back next time when I'm on the R counter and I'm going to measure the space meter and I'll be able to advise you how fast or how slow you need to speak. Overall, I think the 5 speakers I spoke about, please, I beg you to add an R or an or an R. Something, show us that you're vulnerable. And to the rest of us, let's try and polish ourselves because we're not yet devils. Thank you. Back to you.
And also telling us we're good at the same time. And I think so I think that makes me more relatable than anybody else. So thank you so much. And over to you, Ramesh, for the remainder report. Toastmaster, can I figure out?
Today's meeting was indeed a vibrant one, and I have receipts to show for this. The word of the day, vibrant, was used 9 times, specifically once by Toastmaster Amrith, Toastmaster Ujyant, Toastmaster Anirudh, Toastmaster Akash, Toastmaster Surya, Toastmaster Mahaveer, and thrice by Toastmaster Vishal. Also, the good usages exceedingly outweighed the not so good usages. Highlighting good usages, as the miles munched on, elated, startled, in unison, in anticipation, fingers glided across the keyboard, reluctantly, smooth sailing, cyclist breezed past, torrid, inherent curiosity, satiated my craving, jovial, fair, forte, and a valiant attempt. Highlighting not so good attempt, not so good usages would be human beings are social animals, would have been social animals since plural. Elicited in context would have been elicited. Fruiting would have been right. Level up your speech to the next level was redundant. It could have been level up your speech or take the speech to the next level. With that, I'll hand it back to
Thank you, Toastmaster Kenneth. What I feel is that you really gave a nice grammarian report without mentioning the name of the speaker when you said the incorrect use of grammar. So that was very well done. And we could really appreciate the way that you did this grammarian report. So thank you so much. And big round of applause to our tag team. Just one more point for the speakers. I thought that a couple of speakers said thank you and then left the stage. So better would be to
solemn say Mr. PMOD and then leave on stage with a shake of hands. So that way you could end your speech. So we thank you for coming and giving the speech and not the other way around. With that, I come to the end of my general evaluation session, and I would like to wish you all a very happy Holi and good evening, and it's back to the team. Right, okay, the password for the meeting voting link is 1403. I repeat, 1403. Back to the team.
Is everybody done with the and this probably give 10 more seconds. Right. So about the general evaluation session, as I mentioned, it's not something, I mean, sugarcoating it is not something that I like, and they did exactly that. Not just the general evaluator, but the entire team. And like he mentioned, Toastmaster Police evaluation was one of a kind. Mini evaluation in itself, and very new perspectives. This is the first time I think we've ever been told to use ours and be more relatable, right? So, no, jokes apart, jokes apart, it's a really interesting insight, and thanks to the whole evaluation team for today. That's it from my end as well. Over to you, President. Toastmaster Sheeb.
Thank you, Jain. One more round of applause for Toastmasters. Our Vice President Education in Toastmasters Arka has gone to the next level, the education level. She has bagged the first place in the area. Please give her a huge round of applause. The renewal window is open. Those who are not yet renewed, it's time to renew. We have still time, but earlier, thank you. And the best auxiliary role taker award goes to the person who advised those 5 speakers to polish their heads. No. Toastmaster Surya. The best role taker award goes to the Coldplay fan, Toastmaster Ujyant Ramesh. The best evaluator award goes to the person who is always on top of the world, Distinguished Toastmaster Vijayan. Table topic award goes to Mango. Toastmaster Alok Kumar. Once again. That was perfect, right?
Unconscious. Man, go for it.
Morning! Water pipe, morning!
And the best speaker award goes to the person who reached from Nepal to Chinnoswamy 20, right? Toastmaster Akash. Come back again for a group picture.
Punit, you can come this way.
Thank you so much. We have some holy sweets and sandwiches. Guests, please collect, eat it, and then leave. And with this, I close meeting number 1469. Thank you so much. Good night, Surya. Bye-bye.